Israel lost this fight. Understand that. Hezbollah is actually the responsible party here by allowing, I think, the Amal militia, or the Speaker of the Parliament, to negotiate on their behalf. Uh, they want the needless slaughter of Lebanese civilians to stop. Hezbollah is a political party. It's not just a resistance movement, and they have a responsibility to the Lebanese population. And Israel has shown an absolute disregard for the lives of innocent Lebanese. They've killed over 3,000 of them so far.
The ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is a complex issue that, as analyzed by military expert Scott Ritter, encompasses various political, military, and humanitarian dimensions. In his analysis, Ritter delves into different aspects of the agreement, highlighting its causes and potential consequences. Background and objectives of the ceasefire. According to reports, the Israeli cabinet is set to vote on a ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah. The terms include a 60-day cessation of hostilities, withdrawal of Israeli forces from Lebanon, Hezbollah's retreat, and the establishment of a buffer zone by the Lebanese army along the Israeli border. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also stipulated the condition that Israel may resume military action if Hezbollah violates the truce. Ritter views this agreement as a desperate political move by Netanyahu to address internal pressures. Military and political consequences.
Look, I'm going to be as blunt as possible. Donald Trump is either a fool or a liar. He ran on a promise not to go to war. He said, I won't get you in war. We'll have peace. Peace will break out. He made certain statements about, talking about normalizing relations with Iran, not seeking regime change, looking for the potential to lift sanctions. He made the same statement about Russia and Ukraine.
Ritter argues that Israel has failed to achieve its military objectives in this conflict. Despite the initial goals, Hezbollah has retained its operational capabilities and infrastructure. Drawing parallels to the 2006 war, he notes that Hezbollah's missile capabilities are no longer geographically constrained, allowing it to strike Israel from deep within Lebanon. On the other hand, Israel has suffered significant human and military losses and has failed to capture even a single village. Ritter believes that this failure has severely weakened Netanyahu's political position, compelling him to portray the ceasefire as a diplomatic victory, even though it represents a military and political setback. Hezbollah's role in Lebanon. Hezbollah, as both a political and military movement, has sought to prevent further suffering for Lebanese civilians through this agreement. Ritter emphasizes that Hezbollah's acceptance of the ceasefire has bolstered its image among the Lebanese people as a force that prioritizes their security and well-being. He views this decision as a smart move to strengthen Hezbollah's political standing within Lebanon's framework. Diverging views on the future of the agreement.
And then he hires a national security advisor, Michael Waltz, who's just a lunatic on both issues, a Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who is a lunatic on both issues. And then this Sebastian Gorka comes in, who's literally insane. I mean, the man is, you saw this. This is not the language of somebody who's supposed to be advising the president whose policies are leaning towards peace. He's a warmonger. So is Michael Waltz. So is Marco Rubio. And
Ritter expresses skepticism about the durability of the ceasefire. He believes Hezbollah will soon rebuild its military capabilities, increasing the likelihood of renewed Israeli strikes. He also highlights Israel's long history of violating similar agreements, suggesting that even a minor provocation could reignite the conflict. Humanitarian and ethical dimensions. A significant aspect of Ritter's analysis is the humanitarian toll of the conflict. He strongly criticizes the loss of thousands of Lebanese civilian lives and accuses Israel of blatant disregard for non-combatant casualties. This devastation has not only deepened animosity toward Israel among Lebanese people, but has also exacted a heavy political price on Netanyahu. While emphasizing the importance of the ceasefire for the Lebanese people,
Hezbollah is actually the responsible party here by allowing, I think, the Amal militia, or the Speaker of the Parliament, to negotiate on their behalf. They want the needless slaughter of Lebanese civilians to stop. Hezbollah is a political party. It's not just a resistance movement, and they have a responsibility to the Lebanese population. And Israel has shown an absolute disregard for the lives of innocent Lebanese.
Ritter hopes this temporary reprieve will provide an opportunity to improve their dire circumstances. International pressure and its implications. Ritter also touches on the international pressure faced by Israel, including the possibility of arrest warrants for Netanyahu by the International Criminal Court, ICC. However, he argues that U.S. influence makes such scenarios unlikely. He describes this as a shameful reality of global politics, asserting that the ICC lacks the power to take practical action against Israel. Conclusion. Scott Ritter views the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah as more of a tactical and political maneuver than a step toward lasting peace. He believes the agreement fails to address the underlying issues between the two sides, leaving a high probability of renewed hostilities. Nonetheless, for the Lebanese people, who have endured immense suffering, this ceasefire offers a chance to breathe and rebuild. According to Ritter, only time will reveal whether this agreement can ease regional tensions or if it will merely serve as a temporary pause in the ongoing conflict.
Since October 7th, but most of those deaths have taken place recently. A horrific slaughter, and Hezbollah has said, we're not going to sacrifice, the Lebanese people, and so there's a potential for a ceasefire. The kicker is, will Israel agree to, not being allowed to retaliate? Israel has been, for the last decades, bombing Lebanon at will, doing whatever they want. They treat Lebanon as their shooting range. Do you honestly think that Israel, if given the opportunity, let's say that intelligence was collected about a high value target moving around in Lebanon, that Israel would say, oh well, we're not going to attack that. The other thing is that Lebanon, the Hezbollah, this is a different situation than 2006. 2006, it was important to get Hezbollah to pull back behind the Litani River, because the primary weapon that